Hey, so he what? Say what? Anyways, they announced new chapters coming out. They gave us a little teaser, and then we got these little other things. And what the fuck am I on about? We already know the next chapter is Walking Dead because of what is playing on your screen as we speak. Thank you very much. So that only leaves one speculation. Here we go. Here's my speculation. So we got possible chapters being The Thing, The Predator, Terrifier, Candyman, It, Jeepers Creepers, The Quiet Place, fucking Friday the 13th, The Shining, The Lost Boys, Killer Clowns, yeah, Silence of the Lambs, all Rob Zombie's movies, pretty much. Get Out, The Craft, Outlast, Dead Space, The Evil Within, Until Dawn, not the movie, The Last of Us, Doki Doki Literature Club, Slender Man, Poppy's Playtime, Hello Neighbor, BioShock, Lane. I don't know why the fuck A Perfect Blue is in here, or why this is in here. we get the point, bro. Death Note, Evangelion, Berserk, holy shit, Monster, and Devil May Cry. Here's some bonus ones. So we got Metal Gear, we got Blade, we have Blade Runner, because I don't know what the fuck I was smoking. Anyways, I see issues with all these for licensing. This one because of the creator. This one would just suck ass. So, these ones have children, so I have no idea. This is our how likely they're going to happen part. So, straight to D tier. This one will put C. I think it's definitely more likely. This one will put B. It's like a 50-50, you know. Because I could see some Adam skins. This is going to happen. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. This one is probably also going to happen. This one's a lot harder. It's definitely popular. Be very hard though. So this is probably not going to happen. This is definitely not going to happen. I think BioShock would be pretty cool, but it's kind of the same case as these three. This is probably not going to happen. Definitely more likely. This is a hard one. Shit, boys. I'm giving it an A because it is strong characters. I think it could. I'm also giving this an A. Actually, I'm giving that an S. Same with this one. This is top of B tier. No questions asked. This is very doable. Cosmics wise, bound to happen. This is top of C tier. This is in D tier. This is also in D tier. These could Same with these. They're like the same boat. This is a 50-50. It's a licensing thing. Absolutely not. Hold on a second. All right. Yeah, that is never going to happen. This kind of falls in with these. This is actually fairly likely. I just think it's a little less likely than those ones. Same with this one. This one's more likely than this. Very well could be the next one. That's an S. Oh, fuck, what did I just mess up? Okay, Doki Doki won't let me put anything. Nope. Don't see it happening. Same with this one. And Jeepers deserves its own list. I do see this one. I'd say probably in there. And this one, probably there. All right. So here's how much we'd enjoy them. We're going to try and not talk so fucking monotone and boring this time. I would really enjoy a Blade chapter. Adam Skin would go crazy. Really don't care about a Metal Gear chapter. Devil May Cry would be funny as shit. I love Monster, but I don't think it's a good idea. This is as peak as peak gets, bro. Like, same with this. Same thing. I love Perfect Blue. I don't see it happening. Don't care if Wayne. BioShock would be a cool killer, so yes, I would fucking hate this. I would also hate this. Holy gazongas. Make it happen. Please. I think Last of Us would be pretty enjoyable. Until Dawn, I don't really care. Evil Within would be... I don't really care. Dead Space, it's kind of annoying. Outlast, don't think it would work. Craft would be pretty cool. This is a bad idea. This would be very awesome. I fucking hate this movie. I don't think this would be interesting. This is never gonna happen. I don't like it too much. Kingdom is a good idea. I think they should add him. Terrifier's a great idea. Death Note's pretty solid. I just wouldn't really care too much. Please, bro. Make these two happen. I might uninstall the game if they add that shit. Oh my god. I still was gonna not talk fucking monotone, bro. I'm back to talking monotone. I don't care if they had Silence of the Lambs. Don't think Killer Clowns is a good idea. And I don't care if they had the Quiet Boys. Speedrun. So CapCut doesn't allow you to record. So I'm just going to try and do this the best I can for my camera roll, which might not go the greatest. So let's start by saying this entire video up to this point has been leading up to here, where we're going to predict the next licensed chapter. So first of all, we know that next is FNAF, and we know that after that it's The Walking Dead. Two very obvious, confirmed pretty much. What comes after is entirely unknown, and all we have is this little sprite that says new killer, 2 new survivors. So this is my theory. We're going to start off by saying, in order, number 5 is The Last of Us. So obviously you have the power couple. Well, I shouldn't call them a couple, but you get the point. The dynamic duo, Joel and Ellie. And I know earlier I was talking about how they're not going to have kids, but The Last of Us Part 2, Ellie's in it. They're both grown-ups. So that doesn't really apply to these two. The issues I have with this chapter and the next one I'm going to talk about are mainly the killer would be a huge issue. And they're not going to do back-to-back, like, zombie humanoid chapters. It just wouldn't make a lot of sense. I'm not going to be surprised, but I don't think they should do it. So number 4, you know, the 5 times I've fucking recorded this, I've made that same mistake. But number 4 is The Quiet Place. So A Quiet Place suffers from the same issue, really, where it's like boring killer, good survivors, 2 clear-cut survivors. There's no background that would like be required, so there's no need for a map. So you could definitely get away with Emily Blunt and John Krasinski as The Quiet Place. I just don't think it's the best option. These next 3, however, need to be in the game. They need to happen exactly how I say they're going to fucking happen. So number 3, I was actually thinking about putting this higher because this one I actually have a full fleshed out concept for. And that's the Predator. So the Predator is obviously one of the most famous horror movie characters of all time. But there's also 2 great survivors in the movie, and their perks would go perfect. They would just implement so well into the game. So starting with Dutch. Obviously, Arnold Schwarzenegger is Dutch. He's a special forces man. He has a troop that he really cares about, and he gets convinced by a different man to bring his troop to this place. But throughout the movie, he's obviously a great leader and cooperator, but he also hides in like this mud to evade the killer, and he uses like traps. And I think the mud could like play really well into like a locker or like a stealth perk of some sort. I think the teamwork could play into like a healing perk or like maybe like a buff perk, kind of like vigil in a way. And I also think the traps would work really good. Maybe like some trap to do with pallets. And the other survivor is Dylan. So Dylan's the one who deceived him. So obviously we're going to need a perk with deceit in it. But Dylan also, he didn't just abandon him. He still builds up Dutch. This like rivalry, this friendly rival. I can't fucking pronounce that word, but you know the word I'm trying to say. That kind of builds him up. And there's this iconic scene where it's like, ha, Dylan, you son of a bitch. And then they go masculine as fuck, and they flex their fucking arms, and they go super hard. That's another point I'm about to make soon. But his perks could really be about, kind of like his death might be a big part of the perk, where he has this final stand against the killer. Maybe something like Dead Hard, but instead of like being immune, you can like stun the killer somehow. Maybe just a perk all about stunning the killer with like dropping pallets or something. And then something to do with like deceit, kind of like a red herring or like deception. Maybe an aura reading perk. Some like masking perk that might mask like scratch trails or something. I think it would work really good on Dylan. But another reason why this is good is just look at these two fucking dudes, bro. Look at all the other characters in Dead by Daylight. There's a bunch of strong, powerful women. But when you look at the men, you got a fucking dweeb that works in an office, a fucking weirdo that lives in the woods, Magic Mike, for God fucking sake. You got some black dude that's like a scientist, doctor, teacher thing. You got a loser that's in a rock band. You got an entrepreneur. He's got a bunch of fucking dweebs, bro. Give us two insanely masculine fucking men. Peak masculinity. Carl Weathers, Arnold Schwarzenegger. These are peak masculinity, bro. It would help the straights. It would help the gays a lot. I would enjoy this quite a bit. Number 2, I do believe is more likely because number 2 and 1, I think, are more likely because they don't have maps. You really can't do the Predator without adding in that jungle map. It just wouldn't be complete. That's why number 2 is Berserk. So Berserk, obviously, very popular. It's a dark fantasy, and there's 2 main characters and 1 villain. You could argue there's more villains, but there's 1 main villain and 1 iconic villain. The thing about Berserk that makes me think this over the Predator is because in the live stream, when they were announcing the Witcher cosmetics coming out, they were talking about, we want to implement more dark fantasy into our game. This is the pinnacle of dark fantasy, people. They were also talking about, we're so glad we could finally bring anime to our game in a good light, and they want to do more into the future. We have a dark fantasy anime with 2 characters, no map, and an amazing, iconic fucking villain. So obviously our characters are Casca and Guts. I really didn't think too much into their perks, but they could definitely come up with something. Like, come on. And then we have Femto. Not Griffith. I want Femto as the killer because it's more like a monster. It's when he becomes like a true full form monster, like evil that the entity's preying on. When he becomes an apostle. His powers would be absurd. He'd probably like fly or some bullshit. It would just be a great fucking idea. It's a great idea. But number 1, I'm almost certain I actually figured it out. Number 1 is Devil May Cry. Now, hear me out. Devil May Cry is pretty much already in the game as a cosmetic. But it's not a licensed cosmetic. It came out very recently, and I think it was intentional. I think they are teasing at the fact that this next set is Devil May Cry. And think of how perfect it would be. 2 survivors, 1 killer. So first survivor would be Dante. Very popular. You know, the anime is at its peak. All the memes are at its peak. Dante is a super popular character, always has been. And then you would have Nero, who would be like a power duo. And then finally, you'd have Virgil, who would just be a great villain. And
James, do you goon to femboys?